been to an opposing team's athletic field and envied their pricey turf fields? If you've ever been plagued by this jealousy, you will be glad to know that you no longer have to. I love soccer. I began playing 6 years ago and still continue to play and watch soccer frequently. Because of this love, I have researched the best fields to play my favorite game on. Today I'm going to show you the downfalls of synthetic turf on soccer players. According to Elaine Dockerman's article, Turf Wars, turf shows far greater injuries than grass. Turf has greater friction than grass, which can cause layers of skin to peel away. Frequently in soccer, you'll find yourself sliding or falling down, and if you're cutting your arm or leg up every time you do, it's going to be a pretty bloody game. Turf also has a far harder surface than any other playing surface, which we can also see in Dockerman's article. This hardness causes far more concussions than any other type of surface, which basically means that people are getting injured more just because of the surface. According to Harvard Medical School, turf also causes severe foot sprains. Your feet are basically your most important part of your body in the game. So if your foot gets hurt, you can't really play that game or any of the other games. So you really want to keep those intact, and you don't want the surface to affect your feet at all. According to synthetic turf health debate takes root, turf is also full of harmful chemicals. Have you ever seen those black pellets that are on the ground, and if you rub your foot on it, you'll scuff a bunch of them up, and just when you're looking at the field, you can tell there's a lot of black stuff on it? Well, those are actually the rubber things that tires are made out of, and they contain carbon monoxide, so when you fall and it gets in your mouth, or the cuts that you may get while you're playing, those can sometimes give people cancer, and you're going to be exposed to those chemicals, and that's a great health risk that people need to take into consideration before getting a turf field. Not only does turf hurt players more, but turf also reduces the comfortability of players on the field. Based on the article, The Influence of Mechanical Properties of Third-Generation Artificial Turf, turf causes players to be at unease and reduces their comfortability on the field. Turf makes players feel as though they have to exert more effort to get the exact same results as on other playing fields. And this can cause you to feel at an unease and on edge when you're having to pressure yourself and push yourself harder just to get the exact same results that you might get on another field. The lack of cushioning in turf field is a great contributor to why players feel so uncomfortable. I mean, when you're sitting on a comfy bed, you feel more comfortable than sitting on the ground. Well, the same thing with a field. Players want to feel a little bit of give whenever they're running, whenever they're kicking, and these fields are just so hard that they feel like they're playing on a basketball court, basically. The worst problem, however, with turf fields is the lower performance exhibited by players. According to The Influence of Mechanical Properties of Third-Generation Artificial Turf, all players show worse performance when performing on a turf field. Players cannot sprint as swiftly. As stated earlier, turf has greater friction than grass. Well, friction slows down a moving object. So basically, you can't run as fast because the turf is making you run slower. And players are exerting themselves more, so they're tiring out easier, and they just can't go as fast. Running is one of the most important things in the game. And if you can't run a lot or run quickly when you need to, you're going to play worse. Players also showed slower and worse goal kicks. A goal kick is the most pivotal moment in the game, with the exception of maybe a penalty kick where you just shoot at the goal. A goal kick is when you take the ball next to your goal and try to shoot it or kick it over the opposing team's players to one of your own players. Well, if you kicked it too slow and one of the other players cut in front of the ball because you couldn't kick it as fast on that type of turf or grass, then they could score and you could potentially lose the game. So you really don't want other things to be affecting the play, other surfaces or just things that are outside of your control affecting the game. So, as you can see, turf causes far more injuries in players, reduces players' confidence on the field and their comfortability, and it also shows worse performance by the players. So think of these key points the next time you envy these beautiful fields. Sometimes the grass isn't always greener, and you should just stick to the surface that you have right now. Thank you.